everyone's student loans will be forgiven. Psych. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's
I got excited.
That's what everyone felt this last couple of months with our President Joe Biden saying that he was going to cancel student loans. Not all of them, but up to $20,000, which would make up almost half of the student loans. Almost 45% of borrowers, or about 20 million people, would have been, all their debt would have been wiped out.
That would have been nice.
We all thought, a lot of us thought that wasn't happening because it was, it seemed like it because they made a link, you registered, but now the Supreme Court recently struck down his plan to forgive student loans.
No más.
No more, which is upsetting for a lot of people for many reasons, and we'll talk about some of those right now. But in total, roughly was going to be $10,000 across the board for anyone making $125,000 or less. But if you got assistance, if you got what was that thing called again? The grant, the Pell Grant. Where if you got the Pell Grants, then you would, while you're in school, then you would be able to get up to $20,000 of student loan forgiveness. This was a plan that, little did we know, it was just too good to be true. It was never going to happen. They were going to strike it down, and it happened. Just recently, the Supreme Court struck it down. So, what does that mean for all of you guys? What happens next? What happens next is that our payments are going to start again on October 1st. Regular student loan payments are going to start on October 1st, and they're going to start accruing interest in September. So, a whole month of accruing of interest. So, it's going to be interesting because we have the people talking about the recession, people talking about the economy, all these different things. And now student loans are going to start. The average student loan payment is not like $50. It's a couple $100, $200, $300, $400 a month. I mean, I know some people that have hundreds of thousands of student loan debt. So this thing was never even going to help them from the start anyways. But just imagine all those people that got used to these last 3 years of not paying student loans.
Yeah.
And instead got a car, and instead increased their lifestyle, and they're about to get a reality check in October that you're gonna have to start paying. Now, there's a lot of things that the President Biden is saying that he wants to do. What is the next step? They're already thinking of another way of canceling student loans. Not all of them, but a percentage.
Like an alternative.
An alternative, but that's a more lengthy process. His term is gonna end soon, unless he wins president again. Then maybe he'll be able to figure it out. But at this point, I feel like it's just going to be an election, something to use to get people's votes. If you vote for me, I'll make sure we cancel student loans. But I don't know.
We can't believe them anymore.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it, guys. Don't fall for it, right? But here's the thing, guys. This was going to cost the government $400 and something billion. It's a lot of money. It's $500 billion. But watch this. This is a chart that says how much money has been donated to what's happening in Ukraine. Now, what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, I don't take a side. I'm not on Ukraine's side. We're not on Russia's side. We're on everyone's side in the sense where we just want peace. At the end of the day, we don't want wars. I don't think anyone wants a war. War means death. It means destruction. It's not good. War is never good for anyone. So we're not here taking a side. Just want to make it clear. We're on no one's side. We're on the side of peace. That's where we are. We're on the side of peace, and no one ever wants a war. No one wants to send their kids out to die in battle for something that is not even they even care about. It's just that the country's in conflict. Now they have to go fight for it. The U.S., if you look at this chart, how much money has the U.S. sent right here? Since 1 year, from January 24th, 2022 to January 15th. So 1 year. So we're not even counting February, March, April, May, June, all the money we've sent to Ukraine in those 5 months. Just that 1 year. How much?
$46.6 billion.
Almost $50 billion. You're talking about 10% of the money that they were going to use to forgive the student loans. Was already used to go to Ukraine. Now let's take a second and think about that. Isn't that crazy? That they are not only, look how much they've given. There's obviously a political agenda here if they're giving this much compared to all these other countries. Norway, France, Italy, all these countries are way closer to Ukraine than us in the first, to start. Even the UK, I thought they would have given more. Only $5 billion. Look at us. We've given 10 times
most.
more. And you know what?
Why is that?
Democrats and Republicans alike, boom, they approve these bills of sending money to Ukraine without even thinking twice. They don't think twice. They literally come to agreement. They come together. They should do that more often with other, things when it comes to, like fixing homelessness, poverty, fixing, the student loan epidemic, which is terrible. A lot of issues that we have in society is always so separated. But when it comes to anything like military wars, we're on it together.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad because it leaves a lot of people that thought they were going to get this student loan forgiveness. Like, why is it that for when it comes to my needs, they don't really care as much? And let's put student loan forgiveness to the side. Let's even think about just all the needs that we have as a society with homelessness, with the cost of owning a house has just gone through the roof. It's crazy. It's insane. A lot of issues that we have. It just seems a lot of those issues are so divided. Nothing is done. But when it comes to other countries that we don't even part of this country, like obviously I'm sure none of us support a war in general. We want peace.
Yeah.
That's our tax money right there.
Yeah.
That's my money. That's your money.
Yeah. It makes us feel like maybe they just don't care about us.
Yeah. So, that's why it's important that we put pressure into our politicians that make sure that they have our backs at the end of the day, regardless of who you align with, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, whatever. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that they're working for you, they're working for us. That's the most important thing. It's just that concept that I think about, like, if I had me and my family, and then I had someone else that I know that was struggling, I put my family to the side, didn't help them, and I helped someone else. Like, no, my family first, right? Something with like our country first. Let's figure out the issues here in our country first. So it's just very eye-opening. So hopefully more people can really, start to realize that there's a lot of things happening that, a lot of times that we're being lied to a lot of times just for political gain on both sides. And I think it's important, with the elections coming up, that you really put pressure, that you really vote for what you believe in and put pressure and that they follow through with the promises, because this was a huge thing. Student loan forgiveness was supposed to be something that should have happened, but it didn't. And it looks like it's not going to happen. At this point, just get ready to start paying your payments, because I don't think any sort of assistance is going to come anytime soon. Unless you work for a nonprofit or some sort of government agency, something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a plan where if you pay all your payments in 10 years, then your loans get your minimum payments, then your loans get forgiven. They're trying to expand that program out to more people, but you still got to make your minimum payments regardless. So that's one good resource there for all of you guys that are watching. But at the end of the day, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about all the situation that's going on with how our money is being spent? It seems like some money is being spent for other things more than our own issues here in the U.S. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly what you said. That kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, because I remember a lot of people were excited about the student loan forgiveness. And I know there's a lot of issues surrounding that itself, where a lot of people that didn't get student loans are like, why do our taxes pay for that? Which is true. It is like, it's definitely not fair. I'm someone that got student loans, and I consider that not fair. Mm-hmm. So for me, getting the forgiveness or not, at the end of the day, wasn't any different, because it's like, it's also not fair for those who didn't get student loans. So definitely, there has to be a better way around this. And at the end of the day, you were 18, I was 18, and we got access to student loans. How was that possible? How is it legal that an 18-year-old can say yes to getting hundreds of thousands of student loans, but cannot drink a bottle of beer or alcohol because they have to be 21, right? It seems like...
And it's all for like good reasons. Like, all these kids that go to college are trying to make something out of themselves. They're trying to succeed. And the only way to get there is to pay school, and the only way to pay school is to get a loan.
Yeah, I mean, you could work and pay for it, but a lot of people...
It's just so expensive. Well, it depends what school you go to.
Yeah, that too. I think there's a lot of, stuff we can talk about here, and talk about the lack of financial literacy for younger people so they can make better decisions when it comes to going to school, choosing the right school. That way you don't go to a school that's, thousands of dollars. Maybe it's free because it's a community college or it's a state school. So I think there's so much education that is lacking. If we bring this education like what we do here at the nonprofit, a lot of these issues, we wouldn't even need the student loan forgiveness because people wouldn't have as much debt. Mm-hmm. So keep watching, subscribe, let us know in the comments below what you think about this whole situation. Yes. And watch us in the next video. Take care.
Bye.